Hello, and welcome to the Bold Leadership Story Show, where we talk about the experiences shaping exceptional lives. And today, I've got the pleasure of speaking with Peter Braun. And Peter is a plant guy. He's a plant expert. He's grown up around plants. He has been in vineyards and grew up in the trees and around the Mount Helix area down in near El Cajon, and spent several years up in Central California and San Luis Obispo, Lompoc area. And so it's a pleasure to have you join me on the show today, Peter.
Hi, Jim. How you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, man. So what's going on with you right now? How's things in the plant world?
Things are good. We're doing an event today at the State of the City in Murrieta at the old Murrieta Hot Springs
Oh
Resort.
yeah, I saw that on Facebook. That's cool. You got that all set up with the plants and made it look nice and natural and pretty.
Yeah, we're going tonight. It's an old church building from like the 80s. So it's a
Uh-huh.
huge, outdated building at this point, which I think they're going to tear it down. But we just did a sponsorship, put some plants in there, and
Awesome.
we're going to go tonight. They're going to have food. I think they're going to have around 600 people there.
Wow, that's great. In what is it, the State of the City address?
Yeah, so the mayor will be there. They'll have some vendors and other city employees.
Okay, that's a great turnout.
And
That's one of the things I like about the Temecula Valley. People are really involved. There's a good turnout to these kind of things, and people get, they get access to the movers and shakers at these meetings, and get to, have conversations and chat about what's going on in town. And it's always a good thing, I think, to do that. And
yeah, I think there's a lot of growth in this area. There's a lot of development, a lot
yep.
of people, a lot of new communities. It's still affordable.
Hmm.
California.
Yeah, it's affordable for California, somewhat. How long have you lived in the area?
We moved here. My wife grew up here. My
Okay.
wife grew up in Temecula. I grew up in San Diego. We bought a condo here 2019. We were living in Bonsall before that.
Okay. Yeah, avocado country.
Yeah, big avocado country. Um, I was managing a vineyard there, about a 90-acre vineyard down there. And
Okay. So you got a degree from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo in viticulture, right?
yeah, so my degree is it's a
Which is winemaking.
yeah,
I had to look that up.
the degree is called there it is on the wall. It's wine and viticulture, concentration viticulture. So there's three concentrations. There's viticulture, growing the grapes,
Hmm.
enology, which is the winemaking, and then there's wine business. I did
Okay.
viticulture. Some people do multiple. And then I also did a soil science minor, which is very technical, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. So there's a lot of fertility, a lot of studying classification of soils,
Hmm.
things like that. So I did the minor, and yeah, I was the first class because they had a minor in wine and vit, and then I got into the first um, class of the major.
Okay, cool. So I went to San Luis Obispo too. I graduated in 81. So when,
Okay.
when were you there?
I left 2007 or so. I finally got
Oh,
my
okay.
senior project done, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, I was funny story. Actually, I had too many units, and I was one day I was like, maybe I should have a check and see if I have enough to graduate, and I had more than enough.
Really?
I
Wow.
didn't want
Most
to
people,
leave college, I guess.
when I
So
was going there, most people had to, so everybody was on the 5-year plan because of the way it was on
right.
it was on a quarter schedule. And there was only, of course, 3 quarters a year you could take. And every class had prerequisites. And they only offered so many of the prerequisites per year. So a lot of people it took them 5 years to graduate.
Then they're filling up, and yeah, it's hard to get the classes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a really popular school. It's hard to get in. So, but great school, fantastic school, especially for what you're doing. It's the Aggie group and
Mhm.
uh, all of the farmers. I had a lot of friends who were in those areas when I was going there.
Yeah, there's two
Uh,
different. kinds of ag schools. There's more the intellectual, book smart ones like at UC Davis, and then there's
Uh-huh.
like hands-on, which is like a Fresno or Cal Poly.
Yeah, I like the hands-on stuff. That's why I like Cal Poly. It was like smaller classes and you actually got experience doing stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of applied science where you're in the field doing something and not just reading out of a book. I mean, there's a place for both. Um,
Yeah.
that's what Cal Poly. I mean, I believe they're still like the number two engineering college in the country, or they were at one point.
Yeah.
And
Oh, for sure.
it's
They
because
turn
of
out some really good architects. They've got a great
Mhm,
architect school. Their engineering school is top notch.
right.
And so yeah. And the ag department is amazing. Uh,
hmm Yeah, it's been around. I mean, I don't know when all the universities go in. The University of California is that was like the 50s or the 60s.
yeah. I'm not sure when that started. When I went there, it was already a Cal
hmm
State
Okay.
university. Yeah. They've added a Cal Poly. There's Humboldt is now a Cal Poly.
Is it?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, it's
I think
like
I kind of
what?
heard that.
Humboldt. Yeah, they're probably growing a bunch of pot up there or something.
But you know what their mascot is?
No, what?
It's a slug. It's like a
All
cucumber
right.
slug or a banana slug or something weird like that.
Oh, I love it. The banana slug.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It's
That-
anti-mascot because I don't think they do much sports. So they're like, let's come up with the dorkiest mascot we can.
That's funny. That's great. So your business started in what, 1978? And then that it was going on, and then you decided to switch gears, and in 2019 you and your wife Kathryn
Yeah.
came
So
into
my
took
father-in-law,
over.
he got his start in the LA flower market. So it's a whole like when you see on TV where they have these like fish markets and there's all these guys at 5 o'clock in the morning and they're out looking at
Yeah,
fish.
right.
Or there's the same for flowers, cut flowers.
Yeah, I kind of I figured that because like flowers, fresh flowers
It,
especially they're very
it,
perishable, right?
yeah, you're basically working at night.
Yeah.
You have these stalls. So he had a
Kind of
stall.
like a donut place too. You always see donut
Mhm.
houses up at 2 in the morning.
Right. You need it ready for the morning for the customers. And he was
Right.
a wholesaler, so he's sending out to, florists.
Uh-huh.
And I think he got kind of burnt out on that and then started doing was given so a bunch of interior plant accounts. I think it was like Pac West or it was AT&T or something like that up in Orange County.
Hmm.
And when those there was some sort of anti-monopoly thing that happened, I think in the 70s.
Okay.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
they
remember
basically
my
broke.
mom was at AT&T,
hmm
and they of course AT&T, that was one of the biggest ones. They broke AT&T up, and so she had to, I remember the family was all in a dither about, what are
Yeah.
we gonna
So
do? And
that
and
was that Bush? Was that who was that? Who did that? Right.
it was before Bush. It must have been like um
Well, I think the federal government basically it was an
Ford or something. Maybe it
anti-monopoly.
was Ford
Okay.
or Johnson was president.
Yeah, so they ended up closing a bunch of the buildings. So he lost. I got little girls coming over wanting to play with my girls. Hold on a second.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna show your website here real quick. So this is Peter's website,
Yep.
Temecula Plantscape, and you've got some really pretty plants. Pull up some shots. So you do interiors. So are you like renting plants, or how's
No.
your business
So
model work?
so there's two ways. So either the client can buy them or they can lease them. And in the long term, it's better for them to buy them. So a lot of those right there are the new ones I just put in the city of Marietta. A lot of
Yeah,
these right here.
those are great. So what happens if they die? You come in and change them out?
Yeah. So there's a guarantee. So I have an incentive to keep them looking good.
Uh-huh.
Um, And sometimes it happens. Sometimes they'll go through shock. So when they go from a greenhouse,
Right.
they're used to a hot, sunny environment, and you put them in a dark, cold environment. Sometimes they won't transition very well. Um, or people decide they want to help me. They put a bunch of water on them without me knowing, and they end up killing the plant.
Yeah.
And it's a
No
constant
good deed
battle.
goes unpunished, right?
Yeah, I mean, people are trying. Those are some really nice ones right there. Those ones out of my
Yeah.
those
So
are.
you must have some really evolved strategies on keeping these plants clean and healthy.
Well, it's just I have to meticulously go through every single, when we go to an account, we have to look at every specific plant and feel how heavy it is and how dry it is. Just look at the health
Hmm.
of it. Because you can't just water without evaluating the plant.
Right.
Because if you just dump water on stuff, you may be overwatering it and may need a lot more water. Um,
Well, wow. When they look nice, they sure do add.
And we do a little bit of outside stuff. So right there, there's some hanging succulents. Those are
Uh-huh.
Temecula, the clubhouse. If you go up a
Okay.
little bit, we do a little bit of specialized outdoor stuff. Um,
Cool.
a lot of those are lobbies.
Yeah.
That's cryogenics right there.
Where?
That one right there with the big fiddly fig.
This one?
They're a big Japanese company in town here.
Okay.
They're a neat
That's a
company.
beautiful plant.
Yeah, I was there today actually.
Some succulents. So, and then you do, what else you do? You got service plans, leasing options. You got a catalog, containers,
Mhm.
living wall. So you've got a catalog that people can go through. They can download the catalog, right?
Yeah, I started learning the lesson the hard way on that one. Showing, because most people don't know the names of plants. So they're like, oh,
Right.
this one, or I like this one. I'm showing stuff on a phone or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I just built this catalog and just put it together. And so I can say, here it is. These are the options. It's really easy, instead of showing people on your phone, here's a picture of some plant that I have, or
Right. Oh,
um,
cool. Yeah, I'm going to pull this back up again real quick because I catalog took a bit to download, but it's down now. So you've got this interior plant catalog. It's got 34 pages, and you go on the site, temeculaplantscape.com forward
yeah,
slash plant catalog, and you can get
if
this.
you scroll down, you can see.
Yeah, so you got trees,
Mhm.
tabletop floor, different kinds of plants, and then great shots of what they
Mhm.
look like. Yeah, that's really cool.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, and there's other plants out there that are more, I don't want to say oddballs, but there's definitely
So
more.
if like for me, if I had a business with a lobby in it and I wanted to make it look nice, I could, and I don't know anything about plants, and I really don't want to take the time to learn about it right now. I got
Mhm.
other things I want to do, but I do want the lobby to look nice. I can come to you and ask you to come by, you take a look at it and you'd say, okay, this is what I'd recommend, right?
Yeah, I would say the first thing is if you don't really want to pick any plants or anything, I'd say what's your budget?
Okay.
$1,000, whatever. We just go some brown pots, put them in. We just kind of do the run-of-the-mill stuff, Dracaenas and ZZs and Sansevierias, probably $100 a month of maintenance.
Hmm.
Or you can go through catalogs and pick out custom colors. And I have 32 color tiles, and you can get the exact color you want, or you can get pots from Belgium or
Oh,
ceramic
wow.
modern
So you can get
ones,
custom
or
pots and different things too.
yeah, you can go down huge. There's a huge amount of options. Um, Most people don't really want to go. They just want something done, and most of the stuff is going to be brown or black or
Hmm.
um, sort of the standard stuff that's just going to enhance the area. But I have other clients. I have interior designer that she just tells me what she wants. I don't have to. I'm making any decisions. It's great. She goes boom, 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 boom. I go, oh, great, 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 and
Nice.
I just do what she wants, exactly what
So
she wants.
You put kind of like a one-stop shop together for somebody, for individuals and businesses to have nice looking plants and keep them nice
Hmm.
in the public areas and also in the work areas for your employees. So there must have been some challenges putting all that together. What, how did you come about that idea and how did that evolve? It seems like a great system now.
The business itself.
Yeah.
I mean, so after all my wine stuff and vineyard management, I bought the business from my father-in-law, who ran it for like 30 years, something crazy like that.
Okay.
He was kind of on autopilot. He had he had like 20 really stable accounts that he's had forever. Like Paradise Chevy. He's been doing plants in there for like 25, 30 years
Okay.
since the dealership opened. And he was just on cruise control and he just had his routine. He didn't want to grow, didn't advertise, didn't really just like didn't really want any new clients.
Sounds like the perfect business to buy or to take over.
Yeah, I mean, he was getting to the age where he just physically shouldn't be doing it anymore. I mean,
Yeah. Well, it's nice because he's got, income coming in and
mhm.
he can, that's a great business.
Well, the nice thing is we make him monthly payments every month, so
Uh-huh.
he gets a certain amount of money each month,
Okay.
and um, it's a nice win-win for both of us. He was going to sell it to another company up north, and he told me that one day. I was like, wait, Tom, hold on a second here. Let me talk to you about this. And I didn't see my job really going any. I mean, I didn't really see it like as a 20-year, 30-year job.
Hmm.
Um, it was a fine job, but I just didn't see it lasting forever. 20 years. I mean, I'm 43, so I need to start thinking about the next 20 years. Like, what am I going to be doing at 65?
Yeah. Okay.
Um, um,
So you took this business over in 2019. So you've had it for what, about 4 years now?
yeah, right before the pandemic.
Okay. So that, and the pandemic probably threw the monkey wrench into things.
Yeah, that was quite the. We basically just didn't really stop because I didn't really have a choice because so I didn't at that point I couldn't collect unemployment.
Hmm.
I was doing it all by myself at that point, so I couldn't. There's no money really. I mean, we got a little bit of loan money, but there wasn't any free money or anything for us to live off of. So we just kept the medical going. Um, I basically just buddied up with the receptionist or the facilities manager or the office manager and said, "Hey, I still want to keep watering these plants because remember in the beginning they were like, it's going to be a couple weeks or something. I mean,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
we just kept going, and like the lobbies and whatnot, those were easy. We just kind of threw on a mask and stayed away from people and just kept things going.
Well,
You
that's
know,
good.
the medical offices they never really stopped. Um,
So where's your heart lie? Where's your, like, if you could do anything, 'cause you grew up around plants, you're like a plant guy. It's in your DNA, I think.
yeah.
Sounds like. So, but what's exciting in the plant world right now that like you said, you're a young guy, you could do anything.
I'm trying to grow as fast as I can. I mean,
Okay.
I felt like COVID really hindered my growth with everyone else. I mean,
Sure.
I'm not special.
So when you say you want to grow the company, are you looking at different lines? Are you looking at expanding the existing business
Well,
base or clients?
I need more client. I want more clients. I mean,
Okay.
everything's fine with what the clients we have, but my goal, my retirement goal is to build up enough clients where, I'm physically doing part of the work. So I go
Hmm.
out, like this morning I went out and I did a couple accounts
Right.
and I went, and I did some installs. I put some stuff, over at some other accounts, but I want to have employees do all the work. So when I'm 65, um, I'm not physically doing the work. So I'm not destroying my knees or my elbow or whatever. because
Right.
it's sort of an awkward because you're doing a lot of this, get elbow issues. It's awkward movement, and when you get older, it takes a toll on your body. Uh,
Yeah.
and I'm learning that now at 43. My back hurts at times, but yeah, I take care of it.
Hmm.
So it's just a lot of exploring different avenues because I don't think, I'm not a big fan of a hard sell. I don't think, knock on the door. Would you like some plants in your office? They'll be great for you. Just
Go
want it
away.
right here. I don't think that's a very effective tool. I mean, maybe, but I'm not that kind of guy. I don't want to be that guy. I don't like
Yeah.
rejection. I don't want to be the hard sell. So how do you sell yourself? So you get out there, right? So people know you exist, that you're an industry.
Right. Yeah.
But when they do want that service, they know who to call, and they want a local guy that's going to care more than some bigger corporation that doesn't pay their employees very well, and the employees don't do a good job, or you know we you know we strive for the higher quality of work.
Hmm.
to, you know I would say 95% of our clients like rave about us.
You know what? That's your best sales approach is your existing clients and capture those that it's called social proof. You capture those testimonials and you use those in your marketing.
Right.
Um, those are absolutely the best things you can't have enough of those. If you've got a bunch of your clients raving about you in a good way,
Mhm.
that's your best sales approach right there.
Right.
It's
Not everyone's going to rave about you. I get it. But, it means a lot when people like are genuinely like, we like what you do a good job,
yeah,
give you positive feedback. That means a
sure.
lot.
I think education
Hard.
too. It's like educating people about what you do in the you your company is important, I think, because when you walk into a business, you want people to feel good. And
Mhm.
plants, especially nice looking, well kept for plants, instantly give you that, wow, this place is nice. You may not be able to put your finger on it and say, well, it's because of that plant in the corner, but you'll walk in and you just get this overall feeling of, of calm and relax and good
Yeah.
feeling, right? It's a good
No,
vibe to
it,
it.
it definitely does help spaces a lot. I mean, to be
Yeah,
honest with you,
absolutely.
like
Softens them and makes them feel good when you're in there, when you're there.
yeah, it softens the lines of a building quite a bit.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
mean, to be honest with you, I was pretty oblivious to interior plants before I got into this.
Hmm.
I mean, I remember my wife went on vacation. She went on some trip without me. I don't remember where she went, but she was gone for a week, and she had some plants in the house, and I just didn't even water it, and it died. She came back and laughed at me like, "What are you doing, buddy? Like, you take care of a vineyard, and you're a plant guy, but you let the plant die in the house. Like, what's wrong?"
Yeah, it's like the cobbler's kids' shoes are never the fixed.
Well, before I got into this business, I was totally oblivious to plants. Like I didn't even look at plants in offices, but now I'm acutely aware of exactly what plant is doing what, and
Yeah.
if it's
Well, it
dirty.
sounds like it. You got all the technical names and everything, all the Latin
Yeah.
names.
I mean, I'm very aware of like the orientation of plants and what's where, and
You
I'm
get
looking.
into the feng shui. Is that part of it?
Uh, there's rules. Like the rule of three is kind of a big one.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't know if it's the odd numbers.
I think odd just feels good. Like when you're doing like when my girlfriend is doing a flower arrangement, she always puts three different types of things in the pot.
I like to keep things I like symmetrical too. I think
Yeah.
people
So,
like the symmetry.
but I
Um,
don't like it overcomplicated. It's got to be simple for me too.
and everyone's taste is different. I mean,
Mhm.
some people are gonna be, oh, it's too much. It's an urban jungle. I don't like it. Or it's not enough. I want more.
Yeah.
Everyone's a little bit different on their taste too. I mean, I think there's a good medium in between. But it does add a lot, especially, a lot of times it's the people sitting in the office all day long for 8 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
It's their buddies, it's their friend that's with them all day long. Sorry, the kids came over. That's why they're yelling in the back.
No, I can't hear them, so no worries.
Okay, so I can hear.
Yeah, probably bothering you more than me.
And we have neighborhood kids that come over like every day, so
Yeah,
play
cool.
with the girls. So
That's good.
um, so yeah, it's I enjoy it. I enjoy being a small business owner. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I had another business, it was a pesticide spray business for agriculture, and we did vineyard management as well. And
Mm-hmm.
um,
How long did you have that business?
I had that before I had Moody. So I had a business where we did custom fungicide spraying in Temecula and San Diego County.
Okay.
Mostly it was San Diego. We did do stuff in Temecula. But I did the spraying for Moody, and that's how I got the job. And I was like, oh, I want to take this job. They offered me it. They need someone to manage it.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to work with pesticides, all day long, forever.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time with that too.
It's kind of like, so yeah, it's love being a small business. And have you been a small business owner most of your career, or?
Me, no. I've had most of my career. I was a corporate guy. I was a corporate chameleon, a schlub. I sold technical products
Okay.
and to big company. I worked for big companies and small companies, but later on in my career, probably the last 15 years or so, I've founded a couple of companies and I've done consulting work,
What were
various
you selling?
projects.
Kind of technical stuff.
But my biggest claim to fame was selling noise, vibration, and shock control, drop shock. And my clients were companies like Apple Computer, Hewlett Packard, Microsoft. So big guys, and it was all over the world. I was traveling everywhere.
But what was it specifically?
It was like we were selling solutions for drop shock, for example. So in a like the very first iPod that came out in 2001 had a hard drive in it that actually rotated. It was very fragile. So,
Right.
and Apple wasn't passing their drop test.
I got you.
They
Okay.
dropped these
Okay.
products from 9 feet onto a cement floor 9 times. And
Like,
so they drop
Right.
in this way on each corner and the edges. And it's like a crazy test they have to pass. And they weren't able to pass it. And so they got a hold of our material and we were able to help them pass that test.
Okay.
So that got us in the door at Apple, and we grew that business from 0 to about $15 million
Wow.
within about 6 years. And that was a fun ride.
Right.
Yeah, that was fun. And we ended up being acquired by 3M Corporation.
So the old cell phones, they used what are they? It's before solid state. They have the old spinny. What do they call that?
Yeah, they had a hard drive in them. Yeah, it was a micro drive. IBM used to make them. It's a mini hard drive.
The old Blackberries or whatever. Did they always
Yep.
those have the spinning?
Some of them did, not all of them, but at that time, there's like a 3 or 4 year period where they had those spinning drives in the small handheld units.
I saw there's a Blackberry movie out. Have you seen that?
I haven't. I have to check that out.
Looks interesting. It's about the beginning of Blackberry.
Okay. Yeah, I remember those days. That was crazy. Everybody had everybody had a Blackberry. They were always doing the 2
great.
thumbs. Yeah.
I used to love it. It felt weird though because it was so big.
Yeah.
That for a while there, everything small was better. And
I've still got one. This is one that I've got similar to the BlackBerry. It's got the little keyboard on it. And yeah, it still works. This is a handspring.
It was cool checking your emails on your phone back in the day.
Back in the day. this thing is like a museum piece.
Yeah, my 3-year-old, the iPhones are so intuitive that my 3-year-old just picks it up and boom, 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 boom.
It's crazy.
She'll be looking at the phone and I'll call. I'll be out. I'll call and she'll just answer it, and I'll hear, "Daddy, Daddy."
Like, what?
I'll hear in the back, Did Dad call?" She'll answer the phone and talk to me, and like it. But you know what? It shows how intuitive that they've made it.
Yeah, right.
That a 3-year-old can figure it out.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
just
it's
incredible.
crazy. They're growing up with that stuff, man.
They are. They are. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but it
Yeah.
is. It's a thing.
Well, yeah, I'm 65 now, so I've got one granddaughter,
Mhm.
and just thinking about the life from that perspective now, it's like, okay, well now she's inheriting this place, and
It's it's weird to think when I'm gone, when my kids are 60 years old, what the world's going to be like.
yeah, things have changed so much. Like in my life, just in my lifetime, I've seen, when I was growing up as a space race, and the people, the astronauts were in the, Apollo spacecraft were orbiting the Earth, and then they went to the moon and they landed on the moon and they did a bunch of stuff, and then they got a space station, and then aircraft went from pretty much when I was a kid, I remember watching airplanes go over that were propellers, right?
Mhm.
The
They're
big,
really loud, yeah.
and then jets came, and you could
Yeah.
see everything changed, and then was jets, and now it's crazy. I mean, now we're on Zoom all the time. We don't even have to fly anywhere. So,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, this has gone great. Goes really fast. I had one more question for you. You got time for one more question?
Yeah, I got time, man.
Awesome. So looking at your entire your life right now,
Hmm.
and the leadership decisions that you've made, what was the boldest leadership decision you made, and what were the consequences?
Boldest leadership decision. Oh man, the boldest lead. I mean, buying a business is a pretty big. I mean, I guess I'm leading my family at that point. It's not like I'm leading a business. Um, oh man, consequences. I don't know if I have a good answer for that one.
Okay. But it seems like from listening to you that you've got you've got this really cool business,
Hmm.
um, and you're working it, and you're doing a great job with it, but there's something more to your story that hasn't been written yet, but you haven't figured out what that is.
Um, I think it's
Maybe?
I think it's just it's slow and steady, you know.
Okay.
I think it's slow and steady. I don't think my business is going to hit the lottery and we're going to become a $15 million business at all. I don't think that's going to happen. That's not
Hmm.
going to happen. Um, but it's also being happy with where things are at as well, and being content. Um, and not banging my head against the wall going, well, how come they didn't go with us? Or why didn't that account go through? Or, I've bid on some stuff and not gotten it. And it's just been like, I wanted that account so bad. And it would have
Hmm.
been, you know, there's a couple things, there's a couple things in the fire right now that I'm working on that I don't really want to name right now, but there's always some big accounts out there that could change things,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah. That's exactly how I was thinking before we landed Apple.
Hmm.
I set a goal to go after Apple, Microsoft, Hewlett Packard, Intel, um, and it took me 2.5 years to land Apple. But
Hmm.
after we did that, everything changed.
I bet.
Yeah. We grew from a $10 million company to a $43 million company. And our margins went from about 10% gross margins to over 55% gross margins. And it completely changed the whole business. And then we were acquired by a Fortune 50 company.
Nice.
So for like 120 million.
Wow.
So that was a fun ride.
Were you in this area at that time, or?
Yeah, I lived down here, but of course, Apple's up in San Jose. So I spent most of my time up in San Jose.
Okay.
I knew San Jose a lot better than I knew Temecula.
The
So,
Silicon Valley. Yeah.
yep, Silicon Valley. And so and then I'd fly up to Seattle all the time and
Mhm.
up into Oregon and Washington. So that was I covered 11 Western states and half of Canada, and I was down into Mexico too. And then I was also we were working with Hewlett Packard in Texas. So I was going there a lot. So I was busy flying all over the place.
I heard Apple set up a shop down in San Diego. I think downtown San Diego somewhere.
Could be. Yeah,
They
I've kind of lost track. They move so quick. I mean, every 6 months they do a new product iteration. So
right.
the pace is just relentless and very fast.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like in order to stay on top of that, you're constantly studying and staying in the game.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm kind of out of it.
Well, you get to enjoy yourself, do what you want, right? Let's just.
Yeah, I get to do interviews and have fun meeting new people and helping showcase businesses in the Temecula Valley. So it's a lot of fun.
My father-in-law's best friend kind of did the same thing. He had a company called Perceptics, and
Uh-huh.
he sold it, and now he's got this man cave or whatever with like 15 classic cars in it. And
Nice.
big
Is he here in
cigar.
Temecula?
Yeah.
Really?
It's not open to the public or anything, but
Yeah. Well,
and then he started he started a coffee roasting business, and he's just kind of doing fun stuff.
wow. I'd love to interview him.
Jack Jack Morehouse, he's a character, man. I can
Jack
maybe,
Morehouse.
yeah, and yeah, he did the same thing. I think he still owns part of the business, but yeah, I won't talk about him too much. But yeah, he's enjoying life. Put it that way.
Good. Good for him.
Growing other businesses as well. But yeah, I think a lot of it is just it's perseverance too. Because sometimes you have bad days, and what do you do about those bad days? You let them beat you up, or you
You
know,
can't. You can't. You just gotta, there's no bad days. It's either you're learning or you're winning. That's it. There's no
yeah,
in between. If the bad days, you're learning something. That's it.
I know that tomorrow morning, whatever is bothering me today is going to be gone. I'm going to
Good.
feel better tomorrow. Because I think you really, the attitude's everything.
Mhm.
Attitude, you got a positive attitude. People want to work with you.
Mhm.
You want to keep working. If you just kind of stay in a rut, like a negative rut, or you don't have a positive attitude, you're not really going to grow, and you're not going to be happy with your business. And it's, because sometimes it's a lot of work. You're just running around like ragged. And, yesterday was one of those days where I was just running around like crazy. I got to do this, and this, and this, and this. And, it's, but, it's nice because you can carve out your quality, your quality of life. When you
Mhm.
need to go do something, go do it. Or you don't have to talk to a boss and say, hey, can I take off 2 hours early today? You just go do it.
Hey, just ask yourself, hey, is it okay if I take off 2 hours
Yeah.
early? Yeah, I think you did a pretty good job today. Go
Whatever.
ahead.
I want to work half day tomorrow. Tomorrow, what we're doing is I'm gonna go take the plants out of Merida Hot Springs,
Uh-huh.
go deliver some plants over at Embassy Suites, and then we're going to the beach.
Nice.
We got
Oh,
a beach
that's
house down
great.
in Mission Bay, and
Okay.
having a party on the beach
That sounds awesome.
for a little 3-year-old turning 4, and
Perfect.
3-day weekend in Mission Bay. I don't
That
think it'll be
sounds
too
great.
crowded down there, but um, so
That sounds excellent. So any last thoughts?
this was fun, Jim. I mean, I think you know, we get along well. So I think it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
Um, I do have a couple other people in mind that I think you might enjoy talking to. I don't know where they're at or if they want to be on podcast or not, but
Okay. Yeah, we can chat about that after we're done.
I
But
definitely get around town. So
okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
I, so yeah, that was fun.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for joining me on the show today.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll talk to you in a bit.